Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we're just shooting with the homies here at the shed, but I wanted to show you something that I think is pretty cool. Actually, I think it's kind of revolutionary for the Air Force platform. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this review for a little while. This is going to be on the Huben Regulator and 50cc Plenum that changes your non-regulated Airforce Condor or Talon platform into a regulated beast. And this is something definitely worth having to get a ton of shots. And instead of the typical POI changing and going down as your bottle goes down, since you've now got a regulator and a plenum, you're still going to get good power and you're going to be all at the same impact point until you go under the regulator pressure with the bottle pressure. So that's great. Let's go ahead and take a look into this. We'll go ahead and show you what's in the box here. I've got one already installed on this gun. We'll get into that in a minute later, but let's show you what you get here. So we've got some pretty nice packaging from Huben. Always appreciate that. Comes with a lot of nice padding and everything. You've got some promotional material in here, a manual, a sticker, and an authentic product card, which is a little over the top, but okay. You've got the reg itself. You've got a lube container. This is for if you want to put your own lube in that container. And then this is key right here. So you're going to get a rebuild kit with a ton of extra stuff. And look at that. Those are two of the actual poppets themselves. So when you buy this kit, you're going to be good for a super long time. Like this is probably going to last you like 20, 30 years because you're not often replacing poppets, but you do get some in there, extra spring in there, and the valve tool. And then let's take a look at the reg itself. And this is where the magic happens. So this reg right here, it's been holding pressure forever. And the magic is the Tophat. So Huben has redesigned the Tophat on these regs to be adjustable, similar to the ring lock kit that Air Force has on their rifles. So you can see the wrench flats on here. This is adjustable to come back and forth and get it perfectly aligned with however your breech closes, so you have no play in there. All right. Additionally, this is a 50cc plenum, so that's air in the waiting room to go down the barrel. That's what's going to give you your power. When you regulate Air Force guns, you always lose a little bit of power, but if you have a big plenum, you can make up for a lot of that. All right, this thing's got a standard fill nipple on it, comes with a nice cover that's attached, which is pretty cool. You've got your bottle pressure and that's the bottle pressure, and then that's the reg pressure. This one I've had sitting here for weeks. This is a test cap that just goes over the threads, and that way you can set the reg and test it without having to fill a huge bottle every time and then drain it to reset your reg if it's not at the pressure you want. So it's really nice that they include that. Now, if we look over here at this rifle, I've already got one installed on here. I have their old version. If you look at the Tophat here, you're going to see a copper washer there. That is something I did. I glued that copper washer on there because in the previous version, without the adjustable Tophat, I was having play like this with my breech, but I found a 1mm Tophat washer there, and I'll try to, if you guys have the old version, I'll leave a link for this where I got it. But you can see if I close the breech and rotate it to one side, I have zero play back and forth. So this one's actually working fine as is, but this one takes out the need for needing to do any type of additions on there to make sure you have no breech play, because you can simply adjust it out, which is crazy and awesome. So really nice upgrade here, but we're going to get the same performance out of each of these regs here. So I'm just going to go ahead and shoot some shots over the chronograph, and we'll kind of show you how consistent this thing is. And I think you're going to be impressed. This is a 25 caliber Condor. We are shooting 34 grain pellets right at about 875 FPS. That's right at about 60 foot-pounds. So this thing is no joke. I also have here some 25 grain pellets, and those are shooting over 950. So we'll check it out. I'll hook up a chronograph and we'll show you what that looks like. All right, guys, so now we're going to get into shooting this thing. But before we do, Huben is a cool company that took my advice and actually listened to me. So I helped them do the design on the adjustable Tophat, kind of modeling it after the Air Force version. So if you want to support the channel, you noticed you didn't sit through any commercials on this channel ever. I refuse to monetize through YouTube, but I do share affiliate links and Amazon links in the description and comments of every one of my videos, and those do help the channel. So I'm going to drop a link in the comments for this tank right here. This is a 360cc 4500 psi or 300 bar tank, and with this thing on here, I still retain the proper length of pull like you would stock, and I get a ton more shots because this is 300 bar. The stock tanks on Air Force guns are 200 bar. So that is a ton more pressure that this thing can hold. Plus, you can still fit the stock stock onto this bottle, which is pretty cool. So please help me out. Use those links if you can, even if for the Amazon links, even if you don't buy whatever my link is for, and you simply click in there and remember me when you're shopping on Amazon, that helps too. But anyway, let's get to the point you guys want, which is shooting this thing. All right, I've got my FX True Ballistics chronograph here. We're going to use that. I've got some 34 grain FX pellets, and these are shooting out of this thing right at around 870, which is like almost 60 foot-pounds or so, and that is pretty impressive out of a regulated gun. And I get a ton of shots out of this thing. Right now, it's at about 280 bar, so we'll check back in after I shoot a bunch of shots so you guys can sort of see the efficiency. My guess is that it will not move very much at all over a few shots. I've got my steel target out there. We'll go ahead and load one of the 34 grains. Make sure I start a new string on the old FX there. All right, just so there's no confusion, I am using a modified striker weight or hammer weight. This is the 95 gram hammer in there from Talon tunes. So just so you guys know my exact setup, I don't want to be pulling any punches with you guys thinking this is a stock gun. It is not. I do have that hammer weight in there, but anyway, let's get to shooting. All right, and we'll just take some pot shots out there at that target. All right, so we got 880 there. Pretty nice. $878. $875.5. $877. So you can see this thing is real consistent, and it is about 90 plus degrees outside today. So this thing's shooting a little hotter than it was previously in the spring, which I had at about 865, 870. Now it's shooting about 880, which is the perfect speed for these pellets. There's an 871 right there. All right, 873 right there. 875. So we are shooting right at about the perfect speed for pellets, especially for these heavy 34 grains. We'll do one more of these. All right, 877. So right at about 875. And we went down, what would you say, about 10, 15 bar maybe there. So not much at all. And how many shots was that? So that was 8 shots. And this thing gets a gob of shots per fill. Like when I fill it all the way up to 300, I'm usually not filling it for a couple of different outings. So a huge upgrade over the stock bottle, because the stock bottle, you're going to get, I don't know, 20, 30 shots, and they're all going to be lowering velocity and therefore lowering your point of impact. With this thing, I get a gob of shots and my point of impact remains the same. So here are some lighter pellets. These are some 25 grainers, and just look at this. So here's the big donker 34 grain versus the 25. So these are going to go quite a bit faster in here. And just for grins, I'll send a couple downrange for you guys just to see what we get. We'll start a new string here. All right. 955. 959. 956.6. 963. 954. 954 again. And 953.4. So you can see here that this thing is pretty dang efficient. It is pretty dang consistent. And take a look at that reg. What do we got on there? Right at about 250. So I think the first string was 8 shots. And then on this one, another 7. So it's getting a lot of shots per fill. And again, the reg on this one is only set at like 165 bar-ish, about 160, 165. And I'm getting that kind of power, almost 60 foot-pounds out of this thing. So if you can do one upgrade to your Airforce gun, this reg and Plenum and this bottle is it, guys. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful. Check out the links in the description and comments. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.